Hey guys, it's me again with another discussion video similar to what we did yesterday, and it's because I was fucking dastardly duped and there's actually some additional images that would be worthy of me discussing. Now the first one is going to be this little banner type image which shows again the weapons that we had, but it actually shows a little silhouette of the characters, and then it shows again at the bottom text that says 4 new heroes, 2 weeks early access. And then we're going to get into the other one, the other image later, which is going to be the roadmap actually of the year 3 pass. So looking at the year 3 pass, obviously we are assuming based on this text that you get yourself 4 new heroes across the seasons, and you're going to get 2 weeks early access to, I'm assuming, each character. So each character before they come out 2 weeks early you'll be able to play. Now looking at them, they've been confirmed that the left side is the knight, then the Woolins, then the Vikings, and then the samurai. And looking at their actual silhouettes, I actually don't know what to believe. I can see, looking at the knight, it's got like I don't even know, he's got some broad ass shoulders. Let me tell you something though, those are some, he's a linebacker for the fucking Bears or something, but he's got a sword and a shield. That's probably not legal to do in the NFL. Now that I think about it, you probably can't stab people, but looks like an absolute unit. Looks like a kind of just a cool character in general. Looks like absolutely large. Most of these characters look pretty large. Honestly, the Wulin looks the smallest, but it's still quite large in stature, which is the one wielding that straight sword, which is really cool to see. The Vikings looks like an absolute unit. Now let's just, if we put that on the scale, it looks like almost more of a unit than JJ, kind of in that same realm, kind of like that JJ Lawbringer-esque realm. No one's ever going to be as big a unit as Shigoki, let's be completely honest. That's not going to happen, but definitely looks really cool. And then the samurai, again, it's pretty hard to say just from looking at these images of their silhouette, but again, looks pretty large. If I had to guess, these characters are either going to be hybrids or heavies, raw heavies. If they were hybrids, I would say they'd probably be mixed with a vanguard of some sort. I don't think we're going to be getting reflex guard characters. At least these don't seem like these would be the characters that would be a reflex guard character. Potentially the Wulin, just because of that, but I don't see reflex guard being on a warhammer, reflex guard being on that axe, or reflex guard being on a sword and shield. That just doesn't make too much sense. You wouldn't have reflex guard with the shield, but potentially that one sword, that straight edge sword, could potentially be, but I don't see it being that either. And I don't think they would do it because there's Shaolin already and Nuxia, so that would kind of not make sense. With the knights and stuff, we have, what do we have? So Warden's Vanguard, Konk's the heavy, Lawbringer's a hybrid, what do you have? Glad's a hybrid, Sense like a hybrid. Everyone's hybrid, and I feel like people are just over the naming convention of putting hybrid just in front of whatever it is and saying it's a mix with something. Like Aramusha is technically a hybrid, and he's like mixed with a Vanguard and a heavy, but he's really more Vanguard than he is heavy, because I mean the only thing really heavy about him is that he gets the rock steady feat, and I feel like they just threw that in there because. And you know, looking at these characters from their silhouettes, they look pretty good. They look, you know, if we're looking height wise, they all look like they're standing a solid 6'3", potentially above. We'll have to wait and see, but they look pretty even in the height realms. And honestly, I'm looking really forward to playing them. I don't know exactly what each weapon is called. I know, you know, obviously you can't see the entire sword, so it's kind of hard to say for the knight's one, but you can obviously see what the shield is. And then the axe and the hammer are obviously pretty distinguishable, as well as the sword, but I don't exactly know what they're called. But so if you guys can kind of let me know what each weapon is, and you know what you think likely is that each character would be, if they're going to be like a raw heavy, or you think that they're going to be something different, or maybe it's going to be a completely different new tier of character that we've never seen before. That would be pretty crazy. So this one is probably, it's another season event thing that you can pre-order, like this season pass basically, and apparently people can already pre-order it, honestly. So that's kind of interesting that people, and I remember, I think I saw in one of my games there was a Lawbringer that actually had the effect that you actually get, and it's pretty cool. So it looked like almost like it was like a DBZ type like Super Saiyan effect. It looked pretty cool, but basically you get a I'm pretty sure it's going to be $30 again, kind of how like the year 1 season pass was, and then you're just going to get a bunch of different content with it. Probably going to get outfits and some different like modifiers for your characters to throw on some cool little customization right when you first get them. So that's the first image that we're looking at, which doesn't show, a whole ton, but we're going to be looking at this next one, which is actually a roadmap for the year of the Harbinger, the 2019 content roadmap. Obviously, there's probably going to be some different stuff in there than what's already listed on here, but this is just kind of showing like the character release as well as a couple of events. So looks like we're starting obviously on the left side is January 31st, and it looks like it doesn't say exactly when it comes out. I'm not saying if it's showing that January 31st is when the Vortiger is going to be coming out, but let's just look at the events. So obviously it looks like we're getting one between January and April, so it's either like February or March, probably February because that's kind of when the actual anniversary of the game is. We're getting another seasonal event in between April, May, and July, August. So either it's probably going to be, like June-ish when we're getting that event. And then we're probably getting another event in September. We're doing, again, another special Halloween event. It's already confirmed. So that's kind of cool to see that we're getting that. So that's probably more new mask outfits coming through. And then we also have the final season event, probably similar to what the one that we're going to be actually going to this week, which is going to be starting tomorrow, actually, by the time you're watching this. So that's going to be very interesting. Got a lot of new content going in here, and I'm pretty actually hyped for this new event because not too many people know that much about it. So it's going to be interesting to see what we actually get. So obviously we have seen that it says one new knight hero, male, female. So I'm assuming that it is going to be both genders. They're not gender locking any of these characters. I think potentially, I could be wrong. Maybe it's just showing it could be male or female, but we just don't know yet, and they don't want to give it away. I don't know if it's going to be like that, but anyways, the first season one, they've already dropped the name, is going to be the Vortiger, which sounds cool. That's a menacing name. I tell you what, if I went up on the battlefield and I was like, my name was Shinobi, and I went up against a guy who was named the fucking Vortiger, I would have killed myself. But that's going to be the first character to come out, is the Knight, which is going to be obviously in the beginning of next year, which is going to be pretty cool. And then followed by that, we're going to be getting the Samurai, which is going to have that cool little axe thing, which I'm quite excited for. I'm going to definitely try out all these characters. They look really cool. Obviously, the one that people are most hyped for and have been hyped for the longest freaking time has been the Warhammer character, and that has been confirmed going to the Vikings, which is unfortunately coming the last of the original faction. So if you are a Viking player or you just really want to take the freaking hammer and smack some people, you're going to have to wait till like August, September in order for that to come out, which kind of sucks. And then what I think makes sense is obviously putting the Wulin last because they just had 4 new characters come out and they just had the release of their faction. So I think that's obviously a smart idea for them to go through and put out these characters like this. And obviously at the bottom it says ongoing improvements including balancing, new maps, and more. So obviously this is good to hear that this isn't like all of their plans for 2019, because we definitely are going to need more balancing. These characters are probably going to need balancing as well. And then we definitely need to get some more hero reworks, especially when we're adding in additional characters into the game. They're probably going to have these updated movesets, and we again need to bring up our old cast to make sure that they can hit even with the new guys. So that's going to be really important, but I'm actually quite excited. I'm really quite interested because before, when we did year 2, they kind of waited a while to announce the year 2 of it, and this one seems like it's coming pretty quickly. I don't know if they just decided to announce it because of the leaks and all the stuff that was getting spread around, but they've just been showing a lot of stuff, and seeing this roadmap is actually pretty nice. It's good to see some transparency with us into the developers, so I'm quite excited for that. But having these characters come through, I think it's interesting, because normally we would get in the first seasons we got 2 characters per, which obviously this isn't going to be the case. But I think if they do, actually think I like this one a little bit better, because if there's just one character, they can focus more on actually doing those changes and balancing that they've said that they're going to do, because they don't have to work on, creating multiple characters. And I'm sure that takes quite a lot of time and resources to both to create cosmetically and also create the fighting styles, to animate all that stuff. I'm sure it takes quite a lot, and to come up with all like the numbers and damages and everything for a character. It probably takes a long time, and probably don't give them enough credit for what they do create, because all the characters, you can't deny, look pretty sick. And I am super excited to see this, and I think most people are, to see not just like some simple sword things. These are definitely the most unique set of weaponry that we've gotten, thus far. Obviously, like, unique to each faction, right? There hasn't been like, a massive sword shield user on the knights to an extent. The shield user on the knights is Conk and Glad, but those shields aren't really in the same style as this, and it's always cool to see something kind of like traditional like this. I've never seen this specific axe that the samurai is going to be using, so that's really cool to see. Obviously the hammer is something people have, you know, basically petitioned for at this point to see added in there. And then the sword for the Wulin, obviously they have some pretty unique weaponry, so to see a basic sword character in there is going to be really cool as well. And you know, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm cool to see like all the customization, and I'm very surprised. Like, you know, I wouldn't say surprised, because there is a dedicated community out here of people who love this game, you know, myself included. Obviously we have our days with it when we just want to gouge our eyes out, but you know, releasing this content and stuff, it's crazy to have it already, and you know, have all these events planned, and hopefully it goes well, because I would definitely want to see obviously this game prosper and do well, because obviously it's a lot of you guys became fans of my channel from this game, and I would love to continue playing it. So this is really cool to see. Let me know what you guys think about the whole layout of the timeline, and as well as the silhouettes, if you can kind of make any inferences. I'm sure a lot of you guys have done a lot of research and might know some things just in general of what's going on here. So leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to read them and see what you guys think. I know I haven't been doing really gameplay much, but I kind of like doing these discussion videos, especially when we have new content that's being released and talked about. It's also nice to see what the community's got going on in their heads and what you guys think. And if you enjoy this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. It's been your boy Tony. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.